Hey everybody. First off, I'd like to say I apologize for the long delay in recordings. I've been extremely busy. I haven't really had the time. But in this video, I wanted to go over a more custom kind of AI, something that doesn't use behavior trees and things like that. Mainly just creating this selective behavior based on hard coding, um, and maybe that'll give you guys a better idea of how AI works, and then you'll be able to kind of develop your skills, from then on. So we'll go ahead and do this here. So AI. Um, let's run a AI test one. And yeah, okay. So, and I'm also using Blueprint third person. So create project. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. I have a kind of a reference folder on the other side here that I'm going to be utilizing. Um, just to kind of help guide me along, so I'm not stumbling all over myself. I sort of already built this system. All right. So basically, what we want to do is create a new folder in the content folder. So right-click, new folder, and we'll just call this AI. Now we'll hop in here, and we want an AI controller. So right-click, Blueprint class, and then go to all classes, AI controller, or AI icon, and click this guy here. I'm going to call this AI brain. This is going to be his brain. This is going to be where he's thinking all the stuff up, and we're going to wait on creating the other things, but obviously first off we need the actual character. So we'll go over to third person blueprint, the third person character blueprint, click and drag that onto AI, and then copy here. And then save all, and open this guy up. Put this guy over here. Oh, and actually, hold on, first we want to rename this AI underscore character. There we go. So now, open this guy up. And we don't need any of this. So go ahead and delete all those. And so first off, what I want to kind of set up the basics here, in terms of what we're eventually going to need. So let's go ahead and do that by setting up some variables. Health, max health, and make sure these guys are floats. And we can also go ahead and pop these into their own category. And stat, and then we'll go ahead and grab that and drag it in. So now we can minimize that if we need to. Alright, so let's set up our damage function. So event any damage, right? So if any damage is applied to the AI character, it will perform the following task here. This is just kind of a pre-setup. So hold control, drag health out, and then hold alt and drag health out. Basically we want to subtract float minus float. Just trying to keep it a little organized here, by whatever damage we receive. And to add reroutes, just double click on the line, and I'll add a reroute for you. Alright, so there's our damage. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. And now let's go ahead and do our event begin play feature. So begin play. And we first off are going to want to reference the player character and create a variable. So we want to cast it to the player character. So cast to third person character. And now I had a question before on when do you know what the object is? You know, get player character, get player pawn. Well, it all depends on how the game's built. So if we go into our content browser here, third person blueprints. If we hover over this, we'll see the parent class as a character. So that shows me that it's get player character. If the parent class was, let's say, a pawn, then it could be, and then it would be get player pawn, if that makes sense. Alright, so now we want to right click, promote to variable, player var, keep that organized, and I'm also going to be wanting to reference the brain. So we want to get controller, and target is pawn. It'll still reference the character for the AI. We just want to go ahead and do this. So cast to AI brain. And that'll be the object for that. And then we'll promote this guy to a variable. AI brain. And then there's going to be something here, but we haven't actually made it yet. So we'll just do this for a new function that we're going to be making in here for check health. It's just going to be a timer. We want it looping, and 105. Why not? That's a little fast than what we need. So this will be begin play. Start variables. Oh, and I actually also forgot about one thing. So we can manipulate the max health and have it affect the health, so we don't have to change both variables. We want to set health to our max health at the start of the game. And this will make sure, you know, if, I don't know, let's say you want a boss enemy, so you can make this max health public, and then when you drag it out into the actual level itself, you can set the health to like 1,000, and it'll automatically set their current health to 1,000 because we're setting these variables to be the same thing. Just kind of a prep dealio. So now we also want, let's see, we'll go ahead and start adding our events. I want to add our check health feature first. So add custom event, check health, and make sure that this name matches this one, because this is what's going to be calling this function here. Right. Okay. So we're going to want some branches here. 2 branches. Pull this back. We want a sequence. Excuse me. And basically what we're going to be doing is seeing if the health falls within a certain range here, we'll perform this task. If it falls below 0 on this one, it'll pretty much do, you know, the death, essentially. So we'll hook these 2 guys up. We'll grab our health. Let's make a little bit more room here. So bring this down. And we want to see if it's less than or equal to a random float in range between, let's say, 10 and 65. Now basically what this is saying is, once, let's say the enemy's getting damaged, okay? Continuously getting damaged, and so when the player's health, or the AI's health falls between 65 and 10, they'll perform a certain task, whether that's find cover or things like that, which is essentially exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be having them find cover. So I'm just going to stick that guy up there for clarity's sake. Okay. And now we're pretty much going to be doing something very similar right here, but we're just going to keep it at 0. And this essentially is saying, okay, if the AI's health reaches 0, the AI is dead. Okay. So here, we'll do a do once node. Because I don't want this executing more than once. I want it, if this is true, I want it just happening one time. And we're going to do the same thing down here. Just kind of a bug lifter. And then we want to add a custom event, is detected. And we want to pop that right there and reset. And basically this is so we can call it later on, when the player gets detected again, so it can reset this, so it can check the health again and run and hide if it needs to. Kind of choosing a different value, so it allows the AI to make the choice itself whether or not it wants to run and hide, or if it wants to, you know, stand and fight, essentially. And there's one more. We haven't done it yet, but I'll just put this here for now. Okay. And here is dead. Let's do a boolean. And we're going to set that to true. And then we can also grab our AI brain. And this will make sense later. Because our AI, our controller, is going to be handling the movement of the AI, where the AI is going. So we declare it dead, and then we tell the controller to stop telling the AI to move, essentially. Alright? So this is our check health function. Now, of course, this can actually go inside of, quite literally inside of a function if you want it to. I mean, you can, you know, go through here, right-click, and collapse the function if you want to. I'm not, just because I want it visible so I can go through and play with things later. We might clean it up afterwards. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna hop into the controller right quick, and then we'll go back to that, right? So the first things first, we want to add our AI our AI perception. We want to set up our stimuli. So it's going to be AI site, dominant sense, site. Click down here, and I only want the site radius right now to be between 1,000 and 1,500. We'll keep the vision angle at 90. Detection by affiliation. This is kind of broken right now. So I just check everything to make sure that the actual character is being sensed. So that's all set up. Just delete those just because. Oh, and before we forget, we set up that AI sense, right? So what you need to do is go into your character, your actual player character, event beacon play, and you want to register perception stimuli. You want to do site, and then as target, you want self. And this will register the player as an object that can be detected by that. It's very important that you guys do that. Okay. So, let's start our code in here. So, if you hit a T and then a dot, it just goes straight to add custom event. We want to start timers. And then we'll set timer by function name. And we'll call this function AI patrol. I want that to be like 1 second and looping. Okay. Timer event. Okay, that's the first thing. We also want to set our variables. Event begin play. And we want to cast to AI character. And then we want to get controlled pawn, because this controller handles this AI character. Oh, and actually, while we're in the subject, go ahead and go to your AI character class defaults and change the controller class to your AI brain. And we want to promote to variable AI character. And I mean, casting doesn't take very much to do, so I figure I might as well do them all now. And I mean, if whatever isn't used, we can go ahead and get rid of them. So promote that to variable player var, and then we want to start our timers. Okay. So oh, and to do comments, highlight all of the code and hit C on the keyboard, and it'll automatically encapsulate all the code that you have selected. And then you can just type in whatever you want to name it. I apologize for not doing that. Alright, so let's get on with our AI patrol. So remember, T dot add custom event AI patrol. And make sure again it's the same as that. So now we need to do a check, and then grab our AI character and check if it's dead. Obviously, because if it's patrolling, or if it's not patrolling, or if it is dead, then obviously we don't want it patrolling. So just for kind of a sanity's sake, let's do is patrolling. And we're going to go ahead and say, okay, it's not dead, it's patrolling though. Going to grab a delay, random float in range. And basically this is kind of how long the AI will wait before moving between the points that it finds. Okay? Now, there's many ways we can do this. If you want, I mean, I guess we could do it both ways. I'll show you both ways, and then you guys can decide which way you want it done. Okay? All right. So if you go back to your AI character, real quick, you want to make two variables. Point A, and this will be of type target point reference. Okay? And let's make that public. Or editable, I guess you could say. And we want another one, point B. Okay? Make that one public as well. Let's go back over to AI Brain. And after the delay here, we will do a flip-flop. And we'll grab our AI character. And we want to get those points. Right? And then you get point B. Okay. So basically what we want to do is if I just set these up to, okay, go to point A, go to point B, the character will do this weird, like, snap. It'll completely snap around and start walking into the direction. Snap around. So we want a smooth kind of rotation between those. So it rotates around when it looks. So we want to drag off your AI character, add actor world rotation, and that'll be on A. Let's go ahead and split that. And we want to get the actor location. Of all of these. Okay, so we want to find, look at rotation. And the start will be the actor's current location. And then the target will be point A. Assuming that it's not... Oh, and then split this. And we just want to rotate Z. And that, of course, is assuming that it's not already at A, which it won't be. We'll put 2 target points and have it kind of start in the middle. And we could do the same exact thing again with point B here. And that's what the flip-flopping is for. Drag this guy over. Do Z. So yeah. So that'll solve the rotation. So now we want to AI move to, we want this guy right here. We actually want 2 of these. And the first one will be point A. Second one will be point B. Right? And this we could do patrol. So that's the first way of doing it. We can also break that. And actually, no, let's not break that. Let's do the branch here. And is random. Let's do that. Is random. Pop that in there. Let's go ahead and make that public. And then if you don't want random, it goes to the certain points. If you do want random, however, you just do AI move to, find point. Oh. Okay, get random point and navigatable radius. That's the return value. True. Let's bring that up a little. And then the origin, we'll just get the AI character's location. And the radius, let's put 2000. Okay? So it can be either this random sequence here, or I'm sorry, the structured sequence here, or this random sequence here. So let's go try this out, yeah? So we need a navigation mesh, or nav bounds value, excuse me. Let's just make sure, if you hit P on the keyboard, it'll show where the nav bounds value is. If you need it. Go over to AI. Drag out our character here, and our other character. Now this one, we want target points for, so target point, target point. And I apologize, my dog is kind of throwing a fit in the background. Okay, the first target point, we'll just click on our character, and you should have these point A and point B in here. If not, go back in and click that little eye icon to make it a public variable. Okay, so now, do that, and, oh, I made a mistake. Alright, real quick, let's go back in. This variable here is random. Needs to be on the character. So do that. Is random. Make that a boolean. And then go back into AI Brain, drag off the AI character variable, and then get AI is random. And make sure that this is public as well. So now if we go back in, you'll see that we have this is random here. So unchecked, he'll follow the patrol points. But checked, he won't. Okay, so let's try it. See what we get. Okay, so this one guy kind of walks in a random pattern. The other one goes to each points back and forth. So there's the start of very, very basic AI. So yeah, we'll start adding more in the next episode. I'm going to cut this one off right now, and I think I'm going to start recording the next one. But yeah, so thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.